Social distancing show. North Carolina is shaping up to be a battleground state this year. But will we be able to trust that its voters will be treated fairly? Well, Desi Lydic and Roy Wood Jr. find out in their new and confusing game show.
I'm Roy Wood Jr., she's Desi Lydic, and this is America's Got Suppression, the #1 show about how the freest, most democratic country in the world keeps some of its citizens from voting.
Tonight we're in North Carolina, home of sandy beaches, delicious barbecue, and the most beautiful plantation weddings that your sorority sisters never should have had.
That's right, Daisy, and North Carolina is also ground zero for voting suppression in America. Let's meet our first contestant.
Jaden is a college senior who loves his lucky hat, but doesn't love that his voting rights are being threatened by a voter ID law proposed by the state's Republican legislature.
My experience with voter suppression comes from the North Carolina General Assembly trying to pass a voter ID amendment. I'm an out-of-state student in North Carolina, so I don't have what they deem worthy IDs in North Carolina. All I have is a South Carolina driver's license and then my school ID.
It's a legitimate ID. I mean, you can use it to get into the library. You can use it to get into bars, even when you're underage. You can use it to cut up cocaine.
Okay, yeah.
So you can't vote with that?
You know, this law is being pushed by the Republican Party, and we all know college students tend to vote more Democratic, especially students at HBCUs.
Yes, HBCUs, that's historically African-American colleges and universities.
You can say black.
Oh, okay. Historically black colleges and universities.
Wait, what did you just do?
Let's get our next contestant. Vashti Hinton-Smith is always wearing glasses.
She was deprived of her voting power when her historically black college was gerrymandered.
Gerrymandering is a mechanism that is used to draw up voting districts to make sure you can get reelected.
I always thought it was a sex act.
No, Desi, it's when they dilute the power of a specific voting block, like splitting a school into 2 districts.
Just look at that map and tell me that district isn't getting.
Vashti, how did you fight back against this in North Carolina?
We've had court cases, which it took a very long time to win. The North Carolina Supreme Court, they decided that this was a partisan gerrymander, which is illegal. Every year, every election, there's always a fight. So that doesn't make us the most suppressed. I don't know what does.
You know, Roy, I gotta tell you, I have never experienced voter suppression before. Some people are just lucky, I guess.
I think privilege is the word you're looking for.
No, I think it's luck.
Okay, next up is Dan McCready, a veteran and solo entrepreneur who has a friendly face.
And while running for Congress in 2018, his Republican opponent's campaign allegedly used voter fraud to defeat him.
Wow.
Something seems off with this guy. This doesn't seem right. Because this guy's white. You're white, right? Well, of course, his name is Dan. He's definitely white.
Dan, I'm sorry about her, okay? Why do you think you've got what it takes to be the most suppressed?
What happened in my race, which was the largest case of election fraud in modern-day American history, I thought we lost by 905 votes, only to find out that my Republican opponent had hired a known criminal who sent workers to the doors of voters that they knew were likely to vote Democrats, including African Americans.
Oh, Dan, you can say black.
No, you can't, Dan. Don't do that.
Never mind, Dan.
Those workers stole their ballots. They forged signatures. They filled in vote choices for people.
It's interesting, Desi, because it's usually Republicans who accuse Democrats of voter fraud.
Huh. That is interesting.
But at the end of the day, the bipartisan Board of Elections in North Carolina voted 5-0 to hold a new election.
All right, so they held a new election, Desi, and he won his office and fought back on that suppression. That's what I'm talking about, Dan.
Congratulations, Dan. Now that is a happy ending.
Well, unfortunately, I didn't win. But the important thing is that in this case, the system worked.
So you lost twice, is what you're saying?
He got cheated, he lost, and then he lost again.
I gotta give it up to you, Dan. I never seen anybody get suppressed twice in the same election. Okay, time to take a last look at all our contestants and see which one has what it takes to win America's Got Suppression.
That's right. Is it going to be restrictive ID laws, race-based gerrymandering, or outright voter fraud?
This is tough, Desi.
Absolutely.
And the winner of America's Got Suppression is...
Mitch McConnell?
Oh, that makes sense. When voters are suppressed, he wins.
Every time.
And to the other contestants, you lose.
So does democracy.
Yes, it does. All right, well, it was fun playing with you. America's Got Suppression returns next week, live from Atlanta, Georgia.
You're making me do this again?
Yeah, we have like 49 more states to do.
Thank you.